Hey, Mark. Nothing much, man. Nothing super crazy. Haven't done live in a few months, I don't think. It's been a while. It's going all right. Yeah, Richard, sitting in the van, North Carolina. It was like, yeah, no longer in Aberdeen. Switched to the East Coast. We took an epic road trip. It's like 5 or 6 months. Uh, four of those was in Mexico, and I think we have some videos we might share. I have to find them. Um, to find where those videos are. There's a couple videos of us in Mexico. Like there's some checkpoints that were set up illegally, like even by Mexico's laws and Mexican Constitution. And Gavin Syme talks about this too because he's down there in Mexico. But the federal police, you know, people decide to set up a checkpoint randomly at outskirts of towns and things, and see who they shake down for money. So we got a couple of videos. I think we have. I have to check to make sure we still have them. If we do, we'll try to get them posted for you guys. But they're interesting. At least they're honest about the extortion down there. So the two times that police people tried to shake us down for money, they um, hello, live on the internet. It's been a minute. Yeah. Tell them about Mexico, how we have to try to see if we have any of those videos to post of them trying to extort money out of us. But they're honest about it. So they're like, hey, yeah, you can't go until you give us 4,000 pesos. and, and then we're like, no. And they're like, well, what do you mean no? And they're like, you're like 4,000 pesos. Yeah, we're like, what are you talking about, huh? What? No, and they're like, you give us this or you can't go. And then eventually, like, dude walks away, comes back, scratched out the 4,000, changed it to like 2,000 pesos or 2,500 pesos. Like, oh, okay, yeah. No, we're not gonna pay that either. No. And we're talking in English, even though we understood the Spanish, like, you know, because the onus is on them to speak the language of the person that they're trying to get something from, which is common sense. But it's also in their legal code, and the same thing in America. But yeah, that's yummy. I'm eating what is this? Fried mushroom, spicy fried mushroom, delicious. Yeah. Anyway, we have some Mexican videos. Eventually we didn't pay him anything. They gave up. Yeah, kept asking questions, and they gave up, and we moved on our way. So I have to try to find those and post them for you guys. But they're interesting. We just did a video here at a VA center in North Carolina. So I know there's probably going to be controversy about that, going into a medical area. But it was really pleasant. I was there for maybe an hour and 20 minutes. I think hour and a half in total, like walking through the parking lot. But nobody freaked out. Nobody even asked about cameras or anything. They were just helping, trying to be helpful, trying to help me find, any services that I may needed. And yeah, pleasant. Talked to some vets about the care they were providing, that they were receiving there, and no complaints. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll try to get that up and running. I think she's working on a different video right now from a few days ago in High Point, right? Yeah, it's not too long. Yeah, so we got a few videos coming your way. Nothing too crazy. We do have a crazy one that we've been sitting on for like 6 months because there's a federal court case that we got to get cleared up coming up in the next few months, and then I guess I'll let you in on that craziness. But we are here. We live where we are. So currently, our butts are sitting in the geographic area that has imaginary lines and has controlled by monopoly of violence, people that claim to work for government called the North Carolina state. These are yummy. I'm going to put the camera on you so you can watch the eat instead.
One time and I watched the live video and I was like, ew, I'm never eating on a live video again.
Yeah.
That's what I decided. I'm talking extra loud because I think I'm going to come in and fine.
Maybe.
What? See, okay, hold on. They got questions.
Okay.
All right. Oh, let's see.
We don't answer questions. Just kidding.
A couple people want to have them get together or meet you. Send us an email. That's the easiest way for us to track that. Like, if you guys want to get together or link up.
I know Jeff. I think Tyrant Hunter. But
Fucker Piggies wants to get together.
Yeah.
And that's spelled PH, so I didn't even find you too.
Yeah, careful on the it is because there's a mandatory question and asked if this is for children, and I said yes.
No, you have to say no.
I have to say no?
Yes, because it's not. Yes, you have to say no.
Oh,
I forget
said yes.
why, because I actually read it, and it's asking if your video is specifically made to target children.
Oh.
No.
Well then, no, YouTube, it's not.
No, YouTube.
Blind guy fail.
I'll look at it.
I'm like, yes, doesn't need to know what's going on in the world.
Well, I mean, yeah. But the email, insightisfree@gmail.com.
Type it in.
I was, but then you kept putting in the camera at me. I thought I should put that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What happened to you 3 months ago? Hold on.
3 months ago. I don't know what you're referring to. But yeah, we tried messaging Jeff via email, and it kicked back. So I don't know what's going on with that, but definitely want to get together with people. And
what happened to the ass that locked you in the same thing? Did you made a comment on that the other day?
Yeah.
You said, oh, I'm in the parking lot. Don't lock me in. Up the end of the leather.
Yeah. This one is the mushroom thing.
Oh, good.
Yummy, yummy.
Regret.
This side.
It's got cocktail sauce in it.
Yeah. It's delicious.
So, plug for Zaxby's.
Yeah.
Zaxby's
Sitting in the parking lot.
And then you give a spicy mushroom with their vegetable sauce.
Yummy. Yeah.
Nutritious too.
Yeah. Pride. We are in the South, y'all. I think somebody asked about the PUD locked in thing on one of the videos. We haven't pursued anything with that through legal routes. I mean, we tried finding a civil rights attorney when we were in Washington, and that's a pain in the butt. Like, it's a pain in the butt anyway. Like, and so it's been slow going with that. We have attorneys that we're working on this other thing that we mentioned. So once we get that figured out, cleared up, then I don't know, we might pursue something with the PUD. So.
Oh, the person who asked about 3 months ago, they were commenting that we've been gone for 3 months. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been in Mexico, traveling, exploring, and then kind of hanging out in North Carolina for a few weeks now.
Humberto R-C-H-E. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Garcia. And it says, with your videos, I've helped some of my blind friends who had problems at the post office with their high tables that were missing the board on the lower end.
Mhm.
And Puerto Rico, they're fixing that.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, some people do videos or audits or whatever, and they focus on, you know, the First Amendment, or sometimes the First and Fourth and Fifth Amendments, depends on what they're doing. Sometimes the Second, people are carrying. And while that may be an element of a lot of my videos, a lot of times it's not the focus. So, like, for instance, the VA center I just did today, the primary focus was for me to get a lay of the center and figure out what departments and services they have, and if they had the things that I need for my care, because I'm looking at transferring my care from Washington to here. And if they don't have all the things that I need, then I'm not going to pick that location. There's other locations, you know. So, hey, how's it going? And
What just happened?
somebody said, hey, it's my first time to catch you live.
Oh.
Live.
Okay, it's reading with you?
Yeah, it reads. It doesn't hit all of them.
I'm like, what are you talking to?
Yeah. I didn't catch the name though. But
I don't know, like it's behind.
yeah, it's not. It doesn't read all of them. I don't know why it chooses which ones to read. But so that was the first reason for the VA tour, is see what services they have, and if they have all the things that I require, and if not, we'll find a different location. The second would be the ADA accessibility, you know, seeing if they're accessible. Like you guys found out in the courthouse video from the other day, where they just wouldn't even let me in the building. It's completely crazy. But I don't have any issues today, other than there's a kiosk at the pharmacy that's not accessible. Not to mention, like, how would somebody know that's a kiosk that you can use? But you'll see in that video, there's somebody that tried to help me work the kiosk, and there's no headphone jack or anything. There's no audible thing for anybody to be able to do that. So we addressed it, and they offered a solution to just go to the counter. If anybody's visually impaired and needs to use the services of the pharmacy there, they just do it directly with the people instead of going through the machine. So the ADA would be the second purpose for the VA thing, and then the tertiary, or even third, like on the line, would be First Amendment stuff. So freedom of the press is respected. Got a text message that's reading to me right now.
Oh. Anything I need to address?
No, it's okay. It was a family mass text I got from somebody.
Oh, right.
But you got any questions or anything?
How did the courthouse violating the ADA turn out?
Yep.
I mean, the one just recently, right?
Probably. Going here in High Point. We haven't done anything with follow up yet.
Yeah, I know.
I gave him an email to email me once they figured out that they're violating federal and state law, right? NT Tyrant Hunter, what's up, man? We need to get together. Is either you or Jeff that sent me an email? I tried, or gave me your email address. I tried to email, but it wasn't going through. So our email is insightisfree@gmail.com. So if you can pass that along to the people in NC, and Christina maybe can put it in the chat again.
Oh, we got people that are doing it. They kick my ass in there.
You guys are awesome. So yeah, just hanging out, eating some fries, Super healthy. Some fry. Post-audit fry.
We're gonna have custard too, but the custard place is closed.
Oh man, this custard. Is there a sign in front of you?
Yeah, for you.
Okay. This place is amazing. Is it on? Sunscreen?
You probably had it. Anyway, yeah, it's on there. With frozen custard. Oh. Dude, seriously, it's amazing. I mean, I can only speak to the vegan custard they have there.
Yeah.
Which tastes like snow cream. I'm not playing.
It's amazing.
It tastes like snow cream.
We don't mind shamelessly plugging things that we don't have any direct benefit for.
Yeah. Well, it keeps them in business. maybe get one for it.
It's yummy.
Okay.
But no, we're waiting to hear back from the clerk there in the Guilford County Courthouse in High Point, because they recognize that they're violating state and federal law.
I know some of our friends who saw the video emails reached out to the courthouse.
Yeah, there's a guy that Gary, I think he's at Washington. Awesome dude. He does ADA complaints and assists with that. So I think he reached out to them. So there's been a few people, and I don't know if I don't hear anything. Probably Monday, then maybe Tuesday or something next week. I'll go do another visit, see what's up.
Oh, Jeff's here.
Hey, what up, man? Been trying to email you. I think we made a couple of attempts and it's gotten kicked back. So I don't know what's up. Whether I copied your email wrong or. Hey, I saw that. Okay.
Oh, Jimmy Justice is sad because his stuff doesn't get read. So just shout out to Jimmy Justice.
Oh, sorry, man.
We were chatting about a couple people were chatting about the Tesla truck. Tesla truck. Fuck Fees was mentioning it.
Dude, that's gonna be so badass.
I won't get to see you anymore once you get one.
Yeah, you? Yeah, I'll be gone. Gone.
When you come back and charge it.
Yeah, I'll just have.
Here's some videos.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, man.
I probably don't even need you for videos anymore. My Tesla truck will do it.
Great.
Tesla truck, upload latest video. Yes, sir.
All right.
Cybertruck. It's gonna be so amazing. See, I'm optimist. I'm so optimistic about it. Even though the realist in me is saying, yeah, but a bunch of assholes with guns are gonna
fuck it up.
Yeah.
I could have seen that on this live thing.
Oh yeah, too many expletives.
I don't know how many I'm allowed to say.
PG-13 movies, I think you're allowed one.
Oh.
Bum bum bum.
You said it was for kids. Great.
Hey.
Well, did you hear about the Tesla with the summons feature that ran a stop sign?
Yeah.
I didn't know who it is.
Yeah, that's funny. The guy's like, what?
That's awesome. How's it make and fan happy holidays? Dawn and Hawaii.
I don't know why. What's up, man? Going all right?
Oh, it's entire 100. Got one of your emails.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, then, carry on.
Yeah, so I messaged Justin Polian the other day, emailed him, I think I did, trying to get help with records from something back in Washington, back in July. But you need a follow up. So he does really good work with getting records and hunting that stuff down. So, we got any other requests for any place in North Carolina or Southern Virginia that need some camera love, need some auditing?
From the Aberdeen area, they're needing some legal stuff.
They are. Yeah, Aberdeen's a mess. Sorry, man. Oh yeah, give us a call.
Kansas City Bob, I don't know if you showed you a few minutes ago. He got the same headphones you have. I said,
Oh yeah?
yeah,
It's great. It's wonderful. Yeah, if you don't have them, Jimmy Justice, they're Trex titanium. It's a bone conducting headset. It doesn't block your ear. You can still hear what's going around in the atmosphere and people and traffic and everything. But you can also hear what your phone is doing.
B squared. There's a form online for record request that is Aberdeen. That's all. Yeah, but we're not. Do we need record request?
No, it's not Aberdeen. It's actually the Social Security office.
Oh yeah.
The one that we're needing records help with.
Yeah.
What was that? Tom said something, I missed it. Don in Hawaii? Or somebody was dressing Don in Hawaii.
Stop by and say hey.
Got a location?
I don't know. Is it a location or is it the name of something? Nancy Tire Hunter will call you today tomorrow.
Cool.
They come to Rockingham County, Clean Tire here, not far from. I know Rockingham.
All right.
We need to do something next week, Nancy Tire Hunter.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Or Dirt Farmer. Aaron comes up.
Hey, what's going on, Port Farmer? Just kind of a lame video, just checking in with everybody. You're not missing anything.
You're not actively eating anymore.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I still have fries in my lap. Nom, nom, nom. Still wearing the body cam, by the way. It's on the video.
NNC just got arrested, and one of the mods timed me out. What?
Patrick got hooked up?
Somebody said there were 3 arrests today, but I didn't. Three arrests today. Crazy day. Defend Liberty, Texas.
Crazy. That Liberty Freak? Really? Somebody said the prosecutors quit. That's good. Hopefully it stays vacant.
Federal prosecutor North Carolina. Heard it farmer book it. I know when I'm not wanted.
What?
On the other hand.
Oh, right.
No, here.
Here. You're welcome here, bro. Oh, wow.
I guess Virginia needs a whole lot of auditing and taking everything done.
Really?
That's Piggy's saying that. Oh, man, I need more info on that.
I might need to do a Texas sheepdog and get me a rubber block. Really freak people out. Look at the blind guy have a gun. Oh, man. I don't need that kind of heat.
Liberty Freak is now Patrick arrested. Selena was live. I typed on his channel. Someone timed me out.
Yeah. Weird.
Lots of times North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Ew.
Hey, let's back from Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma. Hey, man, I might be up in Tacoma in the next couple of months because of, being threatened with violence if I don't show up. So we might reach out. I know we have some other friends in maybe. Do we have anybody in Tacoma?
I know we have people in Tacoma.
Yeah, if you know anybody or if you are somebody that can help out with transportation or lodging up in the Tacoma area. I might need it in a month or two, or a couple weeks, a week and a half. I don't know what it is.
Roberto asked, how does your headphones work with your phone? My two blind friends don't have that, and I would like to recommend it to them.
Yes.
How much would that approximately cost?
Well, so I'll take off my hat. It's maybe easier. This is I think it's Aftershocks. Is that right? Read that. Oh, I think it's Aftershocks.
There's no words.
Is the name of the brand? And,
yes.
And the model is the T-Rex, like T-Rex, basically. Titanium. So it wraps behind your head like that, and then it hooks around your ear and sits on your jawbone, on your mandible, and so the vibration is transmitted through the bone and to the malleolus, which is the bone in the ear. So it doesn't block your ear canal or your eardrum. So you're getting all the audio through your bone, which is really cool. So when I'm out walking, I use that. I use a big earmuffs at home or in the car for blocking out all the other noise, so I can really focus on what I'm doing. But there's screen readers that you can use on your phone. So the iOS version, the Apple version, is called VoiceOver, and which is what I'm using right now. It reads the comments to me, but for some reason it doesn't read every comment, which I'm actually glad. If it was on doing that, it would be really hard to communicate with you guys, because I'd get the stream of you guys talking in my ear the whole time.
And like this side conversation.
Yeah. And how much they cost? I think they retail for about $100. I think is what these things are.
I just popped up on Amazon. I put a link to a red one in the chat that's 80.
Okay.
Now I'm not like endorsing this color. I have no idea.
Yeah.
This is a red version.
Yeah.
Aftershock titanium.
Yeah. But they're great. There's maybe when I connect with some of you other activists, I'll teach you some stuff on the phone on how to do some recording with your screen blacked out.
Oh yeah.
So you can do it. You can do it like I do it. So there's no. If somebody's looking at your phone and saying you're recording, that you can show them the screen and it's blacked out, so they don't have any evidence to prove that you're recording. You know. Yeah, but not that we hide that we're recording, but I actually don't typically make statements that can be used against me. So if I'm asked, like if I'm recording, I might say something like, "Well, I hope so," or "I'm not sure," because I really can't tell. I can't see if it's actually actively running or recording or not. But yeah, I got mine issued from the VA, from the prosthetics department. They issue out all the my shades and my cane and my headset, the phone actually in the case. A lot of my gear is issued through the prosthetics department, which I think I may have mentioned at the courthouse the other day when they weren't letting me in. Like, these are actually issued, like this medical equipment issued out. And anyway, anything else? Yeah, there.
The headphones, mask that only works with iPhone. As far as I know,
they're just Bluetooth compatible. Yeah, they work with anything that can talk to a Bluetooth.
Used it as it'd be interesting to hear your take on the common practice of police to point at their name and badge number. I think it's ableist, but I don't want to be a gatekeeper.
I think I've had a couple people say, once it's funny because there's been a few times where I've been approached on videos by people in costumes, whether it be police or security or federal or whatever. And I think sometimes they say they're from whatever organization that their costume represents. Sometimes they don't, and it's not until like deep into the conversation where they try to give orders or whatever. And I'm like, okay, hold on, who are you? Like, we're having a chat. Like, I don't mind chatting with people. I don't demand anybody to identify who they are because I can't tell, you know. But once they cross the line of trying to bark orders at me. Then I'm like, okay, who are you? Like, and then I think we've had a couple of times where like I've been with people and they're like, well, it's right here. I don't know if they've tried that when I have been by myself. And I'm assuming the right here is what you're saying, like they're pointing at whatever their junk is. Yeah, but I think I've been with her, and she's like, well, it's not my job to identify you for him. It's your job to identify yourself for him. And
I'm here to help him, like.
yeah, exactly. And so, basically, they're shrugging their responsibility off to her or somebody with me to do it for them. And yeah, it's like, no, you need to identify yourself. And yeah, so even if somebody can see, for people that can see, it's I think it's just it's an ego, it's an ego thing.
You said pointing at their junk.
Pointing at their junk, yeah. Well, there's psychology behind that, right? Because if we're actually in a car, so this is a great example. Here, hold that out your window, roll your window down.
Hold it out my window.
Well, not out your window, but just roll down your window, and I'll explain the psychology. Yeah, sure.
Alright, like, so I can see what you're doing?
Yeah, give me your...
Yeah. It's creepy. Don't say it.
Give me your license and registration. Right?
Oh.
So there's the stance, right? This power stance that you get, and there's psychology behind this, where there's one thing, like, you have kind of a wide stance. It's an athletic stance, so if you need to fight, you can draw a gun or whatever. There's that aspect to it. But there's also a kind of hands on my hip, thrusting my junk out, like, in it. Some cars, it's at...
Oh, it's like right at their...
Yeah, it's right at head, if they're lower to the ground, it's head level, but they're looking out and they're looking at this belt of armament that they have, and, and junk pointing out, and
they have any.
Right, but so that stance isn't necessarily taught. It's taught for shooting stances, but then it kind of, not everybody is thinking I'm going to shoot somebody or be ready to shoot somebody, but it becomes this, I've got authority stance. And you guys look for it in videos. I'm sure you're going to find it in most video encounters with the law enforcement. But they have this stance and kind of have their hips a little bit forward so that the junk is sticking out. It's like it's primal. It's completely primal. It's animalistic, like showing dominance kind of thing. I'm gonna get back in the car. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of psychology with body positioning and body language, and 70% of communication is nonverbal. So hence the videos and everything. What's up?
Yep, it's all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, the videos are a vital part of being able for me to communicate, because I can miss a lot of these things, these cues, these nonverbal cues. 70% of the communication, like, I'm missing. And so I have it played back, and she's like, oh yeah, this person was gesturing, like some of you guys mentioned on the courtroom or the courthouse from the other day. Somebody's like, one of the guys was gesturing, doing hand gestures or whatever. Like, a lot of this stuff is lost on people who can't see, and so if we can record it, video recording. So it's not just audio. People are like, well, you just need audio recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just need to be able to audio record, because you can't see the video anyway. Like, okay, yeah, but I can play the video back for somebody I trust, and they can be like, oh, this guy was flipping you the bird. This guy was gesturing to this other guy to come flank you. This guy was doing the phone call signals for somebody to call the cops. All these things that are missed. Like, who it implicates other people in, and for like a conspiracy to infringe on rights or whatever thing in the situation. So, yeah.
Or the silliness, like the guy who did this grand flourish with his hands to ta-da. That's the woman that
Oh yeah.
That was really big.
But yeah, body positioning is big. Tone of voice even how you word things. There's an energy, and you can pick up on somebody's. You walk in a room like, man, it's really tense, right? Or it's high energy, or whatever. So at the VA, the one we just recorded here. I just heard the one about people being willing and respectful to speak. Yeah, that's place to place too, Mr. Garcia. So some places they're open and respectful. Some places they're just not tolerant. And actually, I think big part of that is if I'm with somebody, like there's less grace. It's really interesting. If somebody's with me to assist me, there's less grace for me in having my equipment to help me, because they say, well, this person, they need to help you. And I was like, who are they to dictate where I get my help, whether I can try it on my own with my devices or if I have to go for someone else. So yeah, body positioning is big. I try to always take an aggressive stance, even a low stance. Sometimes I'll take a seat in lobbies or whatever and wait and let the people, when somebody comes in and they come in with a power stance, like literally having their junk in my face, right? So I'll just take the low stance and let them continue to feel like they're safe and secure having their power stance or authority stance, right? Even though they don't have that. They may have power. They may have all the power, the physical force they want to beat me up or tase me or kill me or kidnap me, but it's not justified. So I try to keep it low and try to de-escalate and body positioning and tone of voice and words. Yeah. You got anything you want to read? Comments?
I don't know, I get thrown off when the comment reads to you faster than I do.
Yeah. So weird. It's so intermittent.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how it picks and chooses. It's strange.
Yeah.
Anti-Tyrant Hunter asked me to ask you, do you mind if we do some Second Amendment audits too?
Dude. I'm down with that.
Apparently I made a face like you farted. Oh, it's when I opened the window. It's because I was asking, oh my gosh, I might have stuff in my teeth, but the mic went away from me, and so all I saw was me making a funny face.
Oh, nice.
Because I was like, great, I'm on camera again. So, huzzah!
Yeah.
Because when you went out, I apparently was just making faces and not.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for giving me the empty cup.
There is a little bit in there. There's enough to slurp, and then I can go refill it. I told them I was going to come in and get a refill too.
Oh, okay.
And I said, hey, she said, we're here to go. And I said, I'm going to eat it in my van. They're like, so I'll put it to go. I'm like, yeah. But I'm coming back in for a refill.
We're not leaving your property.
That's right. I'll just be in the parking lot.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions? Feel free to hit us up if somebody watches this later. You want to tell us a place that needs checking up on in North Carolina or Southern Virginia. Let us know. If you want to coordinate or collaborate, you can email us. insightisfree@gmail.com. There's a phone number too that we monitor. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we'll call it.
It's in the description. It should be in all the descriptions.
Yeah.
I haven't said it in a few minutes. 360-226-6297.
Yeah. So you can text or call. And if I don't pick up, leave a voicemail. I think my phone is typically on Do Not Disturb. So somebody sent you.
Huh?
Hold on.
Welcome, Molly sister.
Somebody. Yeah, so they just subbed.
Oh yeah.
Find it.
Yeah, Chuck Bronson sent Willie Pfister
Yeah.
My sister just subbed the other day.
Cool. Chuck's cool.
Awesome.
Popped into his live the other day and said hi.
Myrtle should be fun to audit.
Myrtle Beach?
Beach. It's a beach.
South Carolina? Yeah? Do some Myrtle Beach. There was a case at a Myrtle Beach, I don't know how long ago, I want to say within the last 5 years, where it's crazy. You guys can find this on YouTube. Maybe somebody can find it, post it in. But I listened to this the other day. So these dudes claiming to be from, like, police raid this guy's house looking for drugs, and he's got, like, a minuscule amount of marijuana in his house. And it's, like, at night, and I think he's either coming from his bathroom or from his bedroom, or vice versa, I don't know. But he had a gun, and these dudes didn't knock. They busted in his door. They didn't announce themselves. They were in plain clothes, right? And they're rolling in deep in a stack. And they see this guy in the hallway, I guess, coming from one of the rooms. And I think they says he pulls his gun from his waistband, but doesn't point it at them. He just pulls his gun because he sees armed intruders in his house, and they shoot like 29 times or something crazy at him. Hit him like nine or so times. And I think the guy survived, but is suing the mess out of them, and they lost their qualified immunity. And so the YouTube that I heard was on an appeal. So like one of these guys was appealing to get his qualified immunity back, and the appellate court is just ripping into his attorney and the city attorney. Like, it was pretty funny. They're like, what are you talking about, man? Like, what do you have to stand on? Like, it was an interesting video. I don't know if you guys can find it, but it was pretty funny. Sad that that happens. I mean, they did that to us. They busted in our house with no warrant or anything, no announcement. They may have been in costume, but I can't tell that. The kids told me that there were people in the house with guns, like, and heard the radios and stuff. And anti-terror just said something.
I'm going to text you.
Cool, man.
Wait. Oh, so you'll have his number.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can text the number we put up.
Do you want to go get it? Refill?
Yeah.
All right.
But I was trying to read. Somebody asked if you follow any other auditors. I was going to read that to you now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, take the trash and refill. Please.
Bossy.
Is it please?
Yeah, but it was like an afterthought.
It's spoken afterwards.
Hey, they gave a mint.
Yeah, I follow a lot of the auditing community. Kind of haven't when we were in Mexico. Kind of just checked out for a while. Wanted to break from all the tyranny. So we went to Mexico where there's more freedom. Legit. If you guys haven't heard of Gavin Syme, check out Gavin Syme's channel. My headset just said charge me, so hopefully it'll last. Make sure I get battery. But yeah, we follow a lot of the channels. Pop in every once in a while and say hi. Yeah, I don't think we need police at all. McFarland stated. You can have like a volunteer police system. Again, doesn't have to be armed. This idea that we need that security. This is an archaic idea. It's the premise of government, by the way. If you guys aren't familiar, the premise is that people form a group of people that they appoint to protect them. Right. This goes back to like lords and serfs, kings and servants and all that. where the king can call on the people to come be in the army, come fight in his army against his enemies, right? And in return, they are promised the protection of the king. You know, so if they're being harassed or attacked, that he can call on other people in his kingdom to go protect, or use his knights or use his guards, or whatever, to protect his people. That's the government citizen contract, if you will, like going back as far back as we can. But it's bunk, because it's not actually what's going on, right? The enforcing agents, the jackboots, if you will, have completely lost touch with the oath that they swore to uphold and defend, and with their basic primary role of securing people, property, and freedom. So they enforce arbitrary codes and legislation that's not law to earn revenue, right? To keep the people in check, to hold the people in check, when there's no crime. Majority of the statutes and things are not legit, because it's not actually talking about crime. It's not actually talking about where there's a victim, where there's damage to life, liberty, or property. So, yeah, Garcia, you don't need guns, if you're gonna be a peace officer, you don't need a gun. Especially, I think only 1% of crime is when they're actually there to be a deterrent or preventative measure. So,
Somebody asked if you met up with Gavin.
No, we reached out to him, but yeah, I mean, we went all the way through Mexico. She drove us from like Texas down all the way through the Yucatan and down to Belize and all the way back up. So we were we were all up in Mexico for about 4 months.
Yeah, dude, I much prefer driving than Mexico.
Yeah, there's way more freedom down in Mexico, which is funny, because we had a conversation with a handful of Mexicans while we were there, and they wanted to know about the U.S., like if all the propaganda is true, like everything they hear in stories and movies and TV, like this utopia. I'm like, no, that's not true. You know, there may be different opportunities here, than there, but they're just different. There are plenty of opportunities in Mexico. Like you want to open up a business, you have a business tomorrow in Mexico. You don't have to submit a license or anything like this, or permit, or you just go out and do your thing. Hey Jeff, I just got your text came in and read to me. Cool. I'll hit you back up, man. Yeah, if you want to get rolling, unless you want to read that spell before we go. Hmm?
I was
Getting caught up?
Yeah, I didn't bring my phone in.
Uh,
I was like, I'm missing all of it. Yeah, well, it reads something. That's cool.
yeah.
I wonder if there's like a, maybe we should email YouTube and be like, hey, what's the deal with this? How do I put these shoes up with the work? I can't help anymore. Just see the hand.
Yeah, Tesla's right. She said, this is PJ, my Tesla truck.
Yes, where would you like to go today?
Let's go to the house, Cybertruck.
Okay, going to the house.
Please follow all local and state traffic codes so we don't incur the wrath of people with guns.
Following all traffic codes. I could be a really good robot.
With our out of state.
Okay, this bugs me. So legally, the stop sign back here, we're not supposed to stop, but
Yeah.
I can't see if I stop back there. I can stop and then like.
I can't see if you roll up, yo.
Stop me.
Yeah, policing. You can police. So that's the thing. It goes back to Benjamin Franklin. People that's willing to sacrifice freedom for security deserve neither. And that's the handoff that has been promised to people, is that you don't need to worry about securing yourself. You don't need this big push. It's been a big push for a while, but it's like you seem to be more hype in the media about taking people's guns. You don't need to be able to secure your property. You need to be able to protect yourself. This language, right? That's why you have police. That's why you have that's why you have the biggest gang in the country to do that for you. Like, but they're not doing that for you. Like, you guys can find time and time again, like, where people will call the police for help, right? And they show up and they become the victims of the police, right? This happens a lot. Yeah. But so this goes back to, it's almost like a Spider-Man quote. With power comes great responsibility, and it's not so much great power. It's with freedom, comes responsibility. And a lot of people don't want to think about their personal responsibility to make sure that for instance, their automobile or their personal conveyance is safe and operational, right? To be on the road. They don't want that personal responsibility, right? They'd rather defer that to some other group of people that says what is and what isn't safe, and then force you to go get, some places require inspections, and some places all these different things, right? But yeah, personal responsibility is a big thing. Like, we need to go more and more towards personal responsibility to enjoy more liberty, more freedom. The whole serve and protect is propaganda. There's that shooting down in Florida this year at a school where there was a deputy, resource officer on campus, and he runs and hides in his patrol vehicle, right? During the shooting, active shooter, he doesn't go and serve and protect the children. He's hiding in his vehicle the whole time. Kids are being shot. And the judge, like, that reviewed the case said that, yeah, he has an obligation to serve and protect, which isn't the first time. That judge upheld what other judges have said. So it's a myth. It's propaganda. Like, it's not actually their duty to serve and protect the public. It seems like their duty is to serve and protect each other, within the line, and their government overlords, their masters in the political spectrum, that say what is and what isn't allowed. So, what is a law? What is a statute? It's nothing more than a threat. Nothing more than a group of people somewhere, or a couple people somewhere writing something down on a piece of paper that says you can't do this, or you have to do this, or else. Right? That's a threat. If you and I say that, and we send it to a group of people, send it to a neighbor, you have to have blue blinds on your house, or else I'll come and take $50 from you with my people. That's a threat. But when people put on special costumes and have special titles that they give themselves, and they call it law or statutes, it's just supposed to be legitimate. Like, it's not legitimate, people, and the enforcement of it is equally illegitimate. I'm gonna listen to the comments now. One says piggies don't know law. Yeah. Yeah, somebody said you're an awesome robot.
I know, and I'm going to take that in the purest form of compliment, that I think it was intended.
Yeah.
Not super robot.
Yeah, the people in cop costumes typically they don't know all of the laws and codes because they can't. Like, it's not reasonable to expect them to. In the small town of Aberdeen, where they had 17,000 people, they had over 6,000 local codes. 6,000. That's at the city level. And then there's county, and then there's state, and then there's federal. And it's like, how do you expect these people that have a very small amount of training, less training than it takes to be a barber, to know and memorize all of these codes and statutes. Like, they don't. So they have presumptions. They presume. Because a lot of times what's legal isn't actually lawful. It violates the Constitution, therefore being unlawful, right? And because, well, it's on the book, so it must have passed constitutional muster. Like, that's not true. Like, we ran into that in Aberdeen when they were proposing the unconstitutional ordinances of making it illegal to sit on the sidewalks. Right? We found out that the focus of their search for whether or not they could make it and it would pass constitutional muster was, have other cities done this in Washington State, and have they been sued?
And if they were sued, did it?
Yeah.
Who won?
Yeah. And so it's not, the focus isn't, does this uphold the rights of the people? That would be like looking at it through a constitutional lens. It's, how much can we take away, or how much can we do and get away with? What's the chance that somebody will call us on this and try to take money from us for doing this? That's completely different look at trying to legislate. But I think that's the common thing. They try to say, how much can we take without, what's the risk to us? And it's not even to them personally. It's what's the risk to this being overturned, or this looking bad, for us in the media or whatever. And that's the focus, it seems to be, for legislators, is how much can we do? How much can we take away from the people and get away with? What's the chances that we'll get sued? Rather than, does this actually uphold the rights and the freedoms of the people? Hey, my headset finally died. Yeah, Sid, we covered that on one of the videos, the murder on the street in Aberdeen, the aggressor enforcement. And so we haven't really done an update on that. I guess we can do it separately. I'll comment on it. I think it's like the DA, it's like the county prosecutor's investigation into that shooting, where they shot Fitzpatrick, murdered him a few months ago, and that's one of the videos on our channel. So the investigation, it's just like what you hear in the mainstream media. Bad guy shot by cops, picture of this bad guy in a mugshot or a previous mugshot or his rap sheet, whatever. Like, he's got a long list of felonies, and well, what are those felonies? Drug charges, stuff that had to do with drugs. No victim, didn't hurt anybody, no violence at all, and like what? Okay, so it's crazy. But they try to paint this picture, right? But if you have a cop that is busted and is on paid vacation because they hurt somebody or whatever, there's enough evidence that they can't wiggle away from it, and they're on charges, or they're coming up on charges. The picture you get from the mainstream media is them in their dress uniform with their medals or whatever.
American flag.
Like, good guy happens to maybe be in a bad situation is the narrative that the mainstream media tries to tell you. When anybody else is like, they try to say, look, bad guy gets what they deserve, and it's just this crazy spin, right? Try to get a fair shake in a trial. If the media is putting your mugshot up or putting you in an orange jumpsuit up on the news, right, and trying to say you did this or you did that, try to get a fair shake. The jury's already going through the lens like, oh yeah, they're bad guy. That's why he's in chains.
It doesn't really matter anymore. If you're in the defendant's seat, you're a bad guy.
Yeah, guilty until proven innocent. So the shooting in Aberdeen, back to that, some say he had a gun, some say there's evidence, they claim there was a gun, they claim it was like a revolver or whatever. It's like, okay, and I think I even said this before the investigation paperwork came out. Even if the guy had a gun, even if he just went and robbed somebody, when he was shot, was he actively using the gun? Was he pointing the gun at anybody? Was he threatening to use the gun? Right? Just because there's something written down on a piece of paper that says a fleeing felon can be shot, which is ridiculous, or felons can't own guns, which is ridiculous, because the Second Amendment, shall not be infringed, right? So, even if they are legally in the safe zone, that they are legally justified to murder this man, like, what happened? What happened in the moments, like the actual moments leading up to them pulling the trigger? Was he threatening people with, violence or deadly force? And if so, why? Was it because he was walking down the street minding his own business, and then people with guns started chasing him and ordering him around to try to get him in a cage, and he thought that he was backed into a corner, and the only way out was to try to fight for his survival? Are you justified to defend yourself? Right? So, like, it's crazy. The guy didn't do anything to hurt anybody, and he was chased down, hunted down like an animal, and shot on the street. Back in 1994, I was driving from Spokane to Seattle. A cop stopped me right. He saw me past the stop sign. I asked him where because I have already traveled 9 miles from my hotel, and I didn't do that. Back in 1994, I was driving from Spokane to Seattle. No, are we talking about Christopher? Question mark. Because I have 2 cents to add. Yeah, Nelly, we're talking about Chris. What's up? Kevin Cochran, that was the question George Law. No, it's New York. No, it's New York. Switch camera. Front camera selected. No, it's New York. Alberto Luis Garcia. You couldn't give me a ticket because he's lying. Yeah, record the cops, Garcia, anytime you can, man. Record every encounter. Makes it easier to catch them in their lies. I live in Greenville County, and they have been shooting people in their own houses. Yep, in Greenville, we were considering Greenville for a relocation place. Switch camera. Front camera selected. Button. Yeah, we're talking about Chris and Noli. Pages. The link. Alberto Luis Garcia. No, we are. Alberto Luis Garcia. First camera selected. Button. Pages. The link. Be squared. Just asking for a walk. Someone out. No, he's here to thumbs up. Hope everyone has a great day. Alright. Have fun. Be squared. Just asking for a walk. Someone out. No, he's here to thumbs up. Hope everyone has a great day. Alberto Luis Garcia. Now that can read very fast. Yeah. I can barely understand. I've actually slowed it down so that if my headset died, it was gonna maybe make it so you guys can read it. I typically have it faster than this. Should be some song. Do you want to repeat some like a person speak to you also? No, I have another FOIA to find out what's going on because they need to charge Officer Martinez with murder on the chief for being a Olympic face. Yeah. Send us what you got, Noli. Email us anything you have on the case, and we'll share it. You said you got another one that's waiting to come in. Another FOIA request, I think is what that said. I think we have. WTF. Front pages. That would have been cool. Switch camera. Front camera selected. Button. Okay. She's putting it on there. Yeah, if it's in the shared file, Christina will check it out.
No, I can't. Because my phone died, and, like, all my text messages are all messed up.
Okay.
Yeah, send it to me again.
Yeah, resend it, Noli, and we'll try to figure it out. I was thinking about you the other day, somebody, I think in the High Point, the City Hall, the guy was talking about wheelchair accessibility indoors and everything. I was like, yeah, I've got a friend that I went with.
Chicken wait at the door.
WTF. Front pages. No ID. I gave this to Justice Google link. Will be sent. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, she had a phone malfunction recently. We had to get her a new phone. Acres. I know a cokehead that talks like that. Cokehead. What? My phone is a cokehead. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we've updated everybody on what's going on. If anybody's got anything else to add before we bounce out, this has kind of been a hangout live session. Haven't gone live in a while with you guys. And yeah. So hit us up. I know NC Tyrant Hunter wants to get together, a few other people.
Get-togethers don't have to necessarily be on it.
Yeah.
Like dinner.
It doesn't have to be work. It can be hanging out and go get a coffee or something to eat or whatever.
We're looking at houses, lots of places, so it's linked up.
Yeah, we've been house hunting all over North Carolina and Virginia and stuff, and so trying to find a place that wants to steal less money from us. And,
without being like out in the middle of
yeah,
nowhere.
that's also not right next door to people that want to hurt us.
Melody, I freaking miss Mr. Guy. That's next. Exclamation mark.
We miss you too.
Odero Rose Garcia, thanks for your insight. This is fun. Hi everyone. Hot piggies, just helping you understand the taking so fast.
You're welcome, Mr. Garcia.
Playmakers, yes, what's an update on the Texas locked you in the gate?
There really isn't an update on the people who locked us in the gate, or locked me in the gate. We haven't really pursued that legally. When we were there trying to find civil rights attorneys, it was a really big pain in the butt. We have a couple federal cases that we're working on dealing with the civil suit and everything. We might see if they'll also represent me in the being locked in the cage in the parking lot thing. It's really just finding somebody that is competent and that you trust to help you navigate this legal system. It's just a big old mess.
Hotcakes, process for sale in Redwood. Melody, sent. Melody, I have the new element you want me to poke around. Melody, I have the new element you want me to poke around. Melody, I have the new element you want me to poke around.
Yeah, go ahead, Noe. If you check up on the PUD friends too, see what's going on over there.
Switch camera, front camera selected. Button.
Anything else?
No?
No?
I don't know.
Alright.
Probably. You're probably gonna get off here and I'm gonna go, oh man, I should have told him blah. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Melody, I have the new element. Melody, W2.
Yeah, you can say I send my regards if you if you want.
Well, she can rock a Blind Justice t-shirt. She's Blind Justice.
Yeah.
Melody, W2.
Yeah, true.
Hi, I'm Blind Justice.
Right. Yeah, if you want to record like any of your stuff, Noe, at the PUD and then send it over, we can post it to the channel. It'd be funny.
Playmakers, okay, thanks, talk to bring the same thing, have a good one. Sydney Bizarre, sometimes it's tough to buy an with justice.
Yeah, Sid. It's really hard.
Odero Rose Garcia, happy holidays and happy new year.
Happy holidays, happy New Year, guys.
Central Indiana Accountability. Odero Rose Garcia, happy holidays and happy new year. Filters, button. Odero.
Indiana Accountability. Hey, what's up, man?
Hot piggies, much love guys, nice talk. Melody, for you I will. Rain rental, support all the way from Ireland.
From Ireland. All right.
Go visit there.
Dude, I'm down.
You're like, I'll be on a plane tomorrow.
Let's go to Ireland.
Oh.
Just page 420, how much does freedom cost for a civil rights lawyer?
How much does freedom cost for a civil rights lawyer? Right? Is it right? So without giving like details of these cases that we're fighting in federal court in Washington, the citations we both got, or we got them like given to us. We were given.
Yeah.
You know, some dudes in costumes gave them to us. Right. Gave us citations that I think we were cited with like failure to comply with directives or signs. So this is insane, people. Like, we're not even charged with doing something. We're not even charged with an actual act. We're charged with an inaction. We're charged with, like, they're claiming, the claim is, and it's not, there's no claimant, there's no person. It's the United States versus.
Gave you something. It's probably Halloween candy.
That's such a weird sentence. But the claim is that we didn't do something, and we didn't. And then we said, and the court is like 3,500 miles away, something like that. Over 3,000 miles away. They're forcing us to travel there, to stand and tell some dude in a costume that we, right, and then have them dismiss it. Like, how is that justice? And we've hired people to do some of this on our behalf to try to minimize the cost of travel and the burden and the hardship of going all the way to talk to some random Yahoo in a costume to say, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer. You have evidence that proves that the claim against you is false. When we could just simply send them the information and they can be like, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer. You clearly didn't do the things that you're accused of. But that's not the justice system, right? They're going to force us with threats of violence, because if we don't go, then what? They issue a bench warrant, and then people with guns will come to our house and take us away, take our children away, right? Take money from us, put us in a cage, because we didn't go to some random building where they have theater. It's a theater Like the diocese is set up. They have a bench. They have a big old chair. It's elevated up so that it looks like this person is more powerful and more important than you. Remember body language like earlier? Positioning. They're in a costume so that the visuals of it are set up to impress you and make you think that you're a peon and that they have this power and authority from God to judge you, right? Craziness, right? This is actually one of the it's one of their temples in Washington State in Olympia in the capital. Their Supreme Court there is literally the temple of justice. Like it's a religion, people. Statism is a religion. It's crazy. That's one of our videos. But the soul system is very messed up.
Roberto Rose Garcia. They charged you with a victimless crime. Ray Mantle. Holland. It is. And the cops are good crap over here. Melody. Buffy City. Sydney Samsara. Down feed. Crumble crumble.
Yeah, the feed fell. Sorry, guys.
Melody. Ray. Your cops make less than $10. Same with the laws. Kelly TV underscore Sam. Hyatt. Blind justice is crazy. 4 exclamation marks. Ray Mantle. Haha. No, restart. Don't shoot first. Ask second. Switch camera. Front camera selected. Button.
Alright, yeah, we're out in the country right now, so signal's not that great.
Chat options. Button. Ray Mantle. Truth case 420. Wow, thanks for sharing.
But we'll keep you guys posted on different things. Hopefully we get this federal stuff cleared up and then we can actually share the video and information on the nonsense there. And we'll keep bringing you videos from North Carolina. We'll probably dig up some stuff from Mexico and share some of that with you guys.
Yeah.
And then
from High Point, VA, stuff from Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico will be like stellar.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do some collaboration videos with some peeps here. So peace and love to everybody. Take it easy. Stay free. And as always, Deo Presso Liber.
Options. Button. Options.